Last week, I caught myself in one of those times where I was really bored with all of my compressors. Every time I reached for the new ones, I just felt really uninspired. I didn't feel like they were giving me that extra special sauce I was looking for on some of my tracks. Then I got an email from Safari Pedals asking for me to check out their newest Owl Control compressor pedal. It's 4 different types of compression in one plugin, and seeing where I was at, I was immediately interested. So today we're gonna take a first look at the Owl Control compressor from Safari Pedals, put it through some paces on what I would normally use it for, and see where it stacks up. Now, first I wanna say thank you to Safari Pedals for sending me this plugin. They have not paid me for this video. They just sent it to me for free and asked me to check it out and review it and see if I dug it. This is fully just my opinion on this plugin, and you're gonna see it in real time as I check out this plugin for the first time. So let's dive in to Ableton and check it out. So to kind of give you a starting place, here's the beat that we're going to be checking out this compressor on in a couple different places. We're going to check it out on the drum bus. We're going to check it out on some individual instrument places. And then we're going to check it out on our master bus and kind of see what we like and what we don't like and how it kind of works. Just to start, here's the beat that we're going to be working with. So you get it kind of like a lo-fi R&B type thing. So the first place you're going to be checking it out is on the drum group. So I'm going to have the drums soloed. Let's turn this thing on and start messing with some parameters here. All right, so first impressions on this thing. It looks like our input and output gain is very similar to like an 1176 style, where you feed the input in and then you kind of control the output of post compression as it leaves. I also noticed we have, so our attack and release is kind of fixed into a range, but that range is dependent on which selection we've made down here. So the smooth starts the attack at 229 to 400, and I assume that's like milliseconds in speed or something like that. And then the pump kind of gives us slightly faster attack, super fast release, to give that really big, I assume that really big, I assume I'm gonna hear a really big like ducking kind of sound. Our lo-fi sound, it looks like it's kind of medium-ish. Also, the ratio also changes with each selection as well. So we can kind of mess around with some different parameters and based on whichever selection we decide to go with. Something I do like is they have an auto gain function. So it will, if you select it, it will match your input and output. So as you feed it, it will turn down the output gain, which is super helpful. 1176s, a lot of those plugins don't have that. And so sometimes you fight that as you're feeding something in. That's pretty helpful. And then we have our blend knob down here and a width knob. Let's see how wide that can get. Let's turn the blend to 100% and run this drum group again and mess with the width. I'm just going to throw it on MixBus, kind of like a medium spot. We'll go to 3 on the ratio. I'm a sucker for a 3.1. Let's see what this sounds like. Now let's mess with this width knob. What I am noticing with the width knob is it's not necessarily making everything wide. It's making, it seems mostly the top half. All my reverb hits, things that are already stereo, are kind of getting wider, which is really nice, but it's not causing any issues with my kick drum. Sometimes width knobs or any kind of like stereo spacer plugins can cause some weird like comb filtering or phasing issues with your kick when you use it on a drum bus. So that's actually really nice. That's a really nice subtle thing. Let's go through some presets now with the drum group and see what we can find here. We're gonna start on drums parallel heaven without. And this is with. Cool. And then let's go to the drums on owl cocaine preset. That's a super aggressive preset. Kind of killed all the low end on my kick. But it did do some really cool stuff to the top. Last one we'll check out on the drum group is we're going to check the Wilden drums preset. That did some cool stuff. I'd probably tweak it and blend it in as more of a parallel so that it was acting super aggressively, but I didn't lose my low end from my kicks. Let's blend that in and see what that sounds like when we blend it to taste. Let's do before and after. So this is without the plug-in on. And this is with the plug-in on. I do really like that. Definitely control some of the stuff. I would definitely tweak it to where it's a little less aggressive and a little less squeezy than what it is right now. But definitely a cool option for drum bus. Let's go over to the loop now and see what this can do with some compression on my loop that I have going on. So here's the loop that we're working with. So there was a couple presets on it. Let's try out this piano at night preset. I'm going to do it once again without the preset, and then I'll turn it on and kind of go back and forth and see what it's doing. It does lift a little bit more of the mid-range. Obviously, with using the width knob on this, it actually does a lot more, widens everything out a lot more, brings everything a little more to the front. I feel like it's pinning it a little more in place, actually, as well. Pull that blend up. I feel like it's doing a really good job of squeezing some stuff, but you kind of want that a little bit more with this type of thing. Let's try another preset. Let's do sweet, soft guitars. Once again, I'll start without it on, and then I'll turn it on, and then go back and forth. So this one's more interesting. Actually, I feel like, though it says sweet, soft guitars, I'm actually feeling the guitars settle back into the loop a little bit more and kind of bring out a lot more of the subtlety in the pads and things like that, as compression should do. But I feel like it's doing a good job of taming maybe some of the spikiness that might come from some of those guitar parts in this song, or ukulele parts, I guess, in this song. We're going to check the keys with a touch of compression preset now. I expect this to be a lot more subtle. Yeah, so like it's described, very touch of compression, doing the widener thing. I'm actually really impressed with that widener not causing, at least on initial listen, nothing crazy as far as like any phase problems or anything like that. It's doing a really good job of widening without being destructive, which some wideners can get a little bit heavy-handed sometimes. And the last place I want to check it out on is my master bus, and let's see what it can do with that. I saw some presets on here for that. We kind of have a lo-fi thing going on, so let's start with the lo-fi on the master preset. We're going to start with the off, and then I will turn it on as we get going. So I do think this is doing a much more subtle job than some of the other presets I think we looked at. A really good job of just evening everything out as much as possible, as like you want on a master, a good master. Yeah, this could potentially be, if you do a lot of lo-fi, this could potentially be a really good option for your master bus chain as far as like your compressor goes. So let's go check out another preset. Let's do the MixBus G-Bus style. This is going to be interesting. I'm actually going to pull up a G-Bus, the Waves G-Bus compressor. Oh, before we get started on this, for some reason in Ableton, the metering on this G Master Bus compressor just doesn't want to work. I don't know why, but it is working. The plugin is on and it is working, and I've set it to roughly the same type of compression that the Owl control is doing. So I kind of tried to match them pretty similarly. So we're going to start with nothing, Then we're going to move to the G bus, and then I'm going to swap back to nothing, and then we're going to go to the owl control, kind of compare the three and see the three options and see what that sounds like. So here we go. Those are actually very similar. That preset has very similar characteristics to the, at least this Waves G-Bus compressor that I tend to use a lot. We'll do one more preset. We'll do the MixBus Magic preset on it. Once again, gonna start with nothing and then check it on halfway through. And obviously I haven't mixed into this, but I really do like the way this sounds, especially for something like this. I would probably back down the 808 a little bit so it's not kicking that compressor quite as hard. But I like actually this preset. The width on that is really nice. And it's doing a good job, once again, of kind of evening everything out. Yeah, I think first look, raw look, I think this plugin is super worth it. Is it going to be the sauce? It could be. It could be. It's got a bunch of different options here. I didn't try it on any vocals because I don't have any vocals with me, but I did try it on pretty much every other kind of thing that I normally produce with. And yeah, I do have to say, I really like this, and I'll probably be using it. It'll probably become a regular part of my go-to compression list on my master bus. Like I said, I tend to use a G-Bus style, so this could be a cool option. Or if I'm making some lo-fi music, which I do sometimes, this could be a really cool option for that as well. Just to have something a little different. I feel like it's really aggressive, which can be both a good thing and a bad thing, fully depending on what you're looking for. The attack release thing is kind of messing with me a little bit. But I do understand you kind of want it fixed based on the preset parameters, these 4 preset parameters that you have. So yeah, that is kind of messing with me. And then the ratio, it doesn't really, I mean, the pump being 3-to-1 is fine. And like most of these, everything's below a 3. I've been really enjoying a 3 or a 4 on my drum bus, and then like a 2 on my master bus. So, which this MixBus setting allows me to go to a 2, so I'm not super worried. You could kind of play with it, and I'm sure you could find something that you enjoy. Like I said, I flipped through these presets and found multiple things that I would enjoy using 100%. So that's my first look at the owl control from Safari Pedals. What do you think? What do you think of these examples? Is it something that you're probably going to pick up? If so, go over to safaripedals.com and grab it. Once again, thank you for them for sending this over for me to check out and review. If you want to see some more cool production things or tips or anything like that, drop a like and a subscribe to keep this in your algorithm. Drop a comment or an emoji to show some love. And I will see you in the next one right over here. Later.